Hey YouTubers, and welcome to another Doctor Who toy review. Today I'm looking at a toy from yesteryear. It's the mini playset from Bluebird called In the Domain of the Daleks from 1997. Now if you're a child of a certain age, these sort of things should be kind of familiar to you, but if you're not a child of the 90s then you'll probably have no idea what this actually is. Back in the 90s, things like Polly Pocket, Mighty Max, Micro Machines were incredibly popular. Basically, all they were little pocket-sized playsets that would look like a particular thing on the outside. So in this case, it's a Dalek. But when you opened it up, it contained a small little playset environment. And like I said, there were loads of different things like this. Polly Pocket was the one for girls, but boys had things like Mighty Max. I used to have Mighty Max, had one which was a gorilla's head, and then it opened up and it was a cool rainforest, and it came with like small little PVC figures painted. They had ones for Star Wars, vehicles, different play sets, all sorts of different things, and I've got quite a few Star Wars ones, so if any are in good nick up in the attic, I'll get them down and maybe take a little look at those as well. So let's take a look at this. Now, like I said, this came out in 1997, and I can remember seeing this in the shop. Obviously this was the days before the internet, and you know, if something was in a shop and you saw it, that was it. You didn't know that things were going to necessarily be coming out in advance. And this took me totally by surprise. I must have been about, well, 5 years old at the time, and my brother and my mum and I had gone looking for something else, probably a Batman figure or something, and I saw this hanging on the shelf, and I thought, oh, my God, look at that! That is so cool! I have to have it. And I did, and here it is now, and I adored it. I played with it all the time. I absolutely loved it. Let's have a little look at what we've got here. First off, let's take a look at the figures that come with this set. So we have the Fourth Doctor. The sculpt, from what I can tell, is based on his season 13 costume. You can see the cravat there and the waistcoat all done up, and the longer frock coat. The scarf has a bit of a pattern on it, as you can see. And the waistcoat is just yellow, trousers are grey. So not bad. You can sort of tell that it's Tom Baker because of the curly hair, and obviously the scarf's a dead giveaway. Obviously it doesn't look like him at this small scale. And he has his sonic screwdriver in his right hand, which at this scale kind of looks like he's carrying a small spoon or a maraca. But you get the idea. Then we have the Dalek. The Dalek is in silver and black, as you can see, so it's kind of like the Death to the Daleks version. And it is basically just a rollerkin Dalek, like the ones in the 60s. It's just on a ball bearing, like that, and that allows it to roll around. No movement in any of the, like the plunger or the gun or the eye stalk or anything, but, you know, it looks pretty good. It's obviously a Dalek, it's fairly accurate, so it's quite neat. Okay, so let's have a look at the actual set itself and what we've got going on here. So it's divided into a few sections. We have the top area up here, we have this sort of middle section, and then if we lift this bridge up in a minute, you'll see some other bits. So let's start off with the main TARDIS bit. So if I move that down, we've got quite a accurate presentation of the TARDIS. It's only the front, you can't really see the sides. You can't see, sadly, in this light, but there is, in fact, a light on the top. You can just sort of see the light at the top there. So the police box, like I said, is fairly accurate. You can even see they've sculpted the little door panel on. You know, it's the correct number of squares. It just says police box, not public call box, and you've got the yellow windows. So that's really cool. And then around the sides you have these other little bits of detail. So you've got these pipes and a vent on the side, part of the Dalek base. Little control panel thing down there, and then over the top you've got like this girder with the circles, which always remind me of the Dalek bumps, which is a nice little touch. The TARDIS itself opens up, both doors open like so. As you can see, the doors have the roundels on the inside, which is really cool. And if we tip this back so we can get the light shining in there, you can see that there is the TARDIS console, which is actually quite a fairly accurate presentation of the console room from Tom Baker's era. And you can fit Tom Baker in there, like so, and send him off to time and space. So in this lower section we have this small bridge which can actually move, lifts up and down, and on the underside of the bridge we've got some more detailing there, like circuitry and bits and pieces like that. And the Dalek on the ball bearing just travels down like so at fairly fast speed, as you can see. We also have here this flat sort of floor piece, which, as you can see, has a sort of cracked look around it, and it is on a hinge, and I shall show you what that's all about in a sec. You also have this piece here, which can spin round and be lifted and lowered, which looks like the head of a Dalek. You're probably thinking, well, what is all that about? Well, if we turn back to the front, as you can see, it's a pretty accurate representation of a Dalek, but you can pull the plunger off, like so. Put that in the Dalek head, and then if you just use your finger to flick it, you have a Dalek projectile. Let's try that again. There you have it. So just a neat little action feature there. And if we lift up the bridge underneath, you can see there's even more control consoles and things like that. So all these little buttons and control panels and screens and things, and some other stuff over here as well. So this is all really cool stuff. And then over here we have this blue switch. Now if you press the blue switch, this happens. The floor explodes, and then if we look on the inside we can see that there is a number of bits of detailing, all these sort of exploded circuits, as you can see there. It's all sort of like a damaged effect, and even on the inside of this plastic piece it's like the metal has been warped and melted, which is really cool. So what's that all about? Well, the idea is this. The Doctor is pursued by the Dalek, who makes his way down there. The Dalek comes along, down onto this purple piece. The Doctor uses his sonic screwdriver, and you press that, and boom! Dead Dalek. Actually, the Dalek does travel quite far, it's quite powerful. Let's try that again, shall we? Because it's fun. Press the button, dead Dalek. And that's it, that was really great. Yeah, you know, as a kid, I used to love playing with this. Always used to be the same little story. Doctor would come down there, blow up the Dalek, bugger, can't get back to the TARDIS because the floor's all destroyed. Use the sonic screwdriver, fix the floor, head back to the TARDIS. Great fun. And then finally, we have the third section, which is right at the top in the Dalek's head. So as you can see up here, we've got some more sort of computer panels and bits of detailing around the outside, but it's what's in the middle that is the most important thing, and it is, of course, Davros, as he appears in remembrance of the Daleks. It's just in a solid silver, but you know, it's obvious what it's meant to be. This was probably the very first interpretation of Davros in toy form, in this particular version of Davros at least. And the top piece lifts up, not unlike the character options figure, and there we have it, Davros is inside. So there's no there's no paint applications to Davros, but you can see that there is some nice detailing on the sculpt. You can see that he does have his third eye. You can even see his microphone is hooked around to his head, and you can even see all the wires and things over his shoulders. So it is actually pretty cool. It is a shame that they didn't paint it, because it would have looked really nice, I think. Yeah, there we go. So you've got Davros at the top. I'm not sure how much this cost back in the day, but I know you can still find them kicking around on eBay and things. And I really, really, absolutely love this set. I think it's really, really cool. And it is just a real damn shame that we didn't get any more. Because this is, you know, it's a one-off. There was never any more made. Others were planned. But I think it's a really, really cool little toy. And like I said, at the time, these sort of pocket play sets were all the rage. Like I said, I had the Star Wars ones, I had some Mighty Max, God knows where that's gone now, probably in the bin. I had a Batman Forever one, which was Val Kilmer's head, which opened up into a mini Batcave, which was really, really cool, and it had a little car that shot out, and the Batboat, and the Batwing. It was really, really neat. So these things were really, really cool. So from the front, it's actually a really cool representation of a Dalek. Obviously it goes a little bit funny back here, but from the front it's actually very, very cool. The eye stalk lifts up and down like any other Dalek figure. The plunger is on a ball joint, so it can spin all the way around, and the same for the gun as well. You know, we even have the dome lights at the top, which are in this yellowy colour. And there's even all the screws and things on the slats. So it's actually a really cool little piece. You know, even just on display like this, you know, it looks all right. But when you have it open up, it looks really, really cool. And what I used to do when I was a kid is I used to always, when the plunger was off, I always had that the Doctor would come around the front and be amazed to see this massive Dalek, and it would be like the Emperor Dalek or something like that. So that was what I always used to do when I was a kid. So it was all really, really fun. I mean, honestly, I had hours and hours and hours of fun playing with this. And then when you want to close it all up, the head bit here, just turn it to the side, lift up the bridge, which flips up like that. Oh, the head goes down. And I used to get the Dalek, plonk him in there like that, lower the bridge over the top so he doesn't fall around, open the TARDIS doors, put the Fourth Doctor inside, close it up, put Davros' head down, and then pack it away nice and neatly. And there you have it. So that's that. That is the Bluebird in the Domain of the Daleks playset. Really, really cool, unique toy. Never anything else like this was made. I guess, you know, there was the character options, little PVC things, which I guess are along the same lines, but not as good as this, I don't think. Not as fun. It is a real shame that they never made any more. There were actually plans to make more. They were going to make a TARDIS playset, which would have opened up, and it would have been the Eye of Harmony and the console room from the TV movie, with little figures of the Eighth Doctor and the Master, Eric Roberts, which would have been really cool. I mean, an actual toy from the film. That's fantastic. You know, that just seems baffling now. They were going to do other ones. There was a Cyberman one that was planned, and it was an Earthshock's Cyberman head, and it was going to have a little Earthshock Cyberman figure. I'm not sure what the inside was going to be, but it was probably going to be some sort of like Tomb of the Cybermen type thing, I'm guessing, you know, something cool like that. And they were even going to just do little packets, kind of like what Micro Machines used to do. They would just release packets of like small vehicles and small, just the small figurines, and there was going to be a Third Doctor and a TARDIS and K9, and I think it would have been really cool. And I think they even had plans to do sonic screwdrivers as well. And there is an article about it online if you go on to Infinite Hollywood's blog. I've posted the link on here as well. You can take a look at that and see those pictures for yourself, because it's really cool, and it's such a damn shame that you get to see pictures of these things and you know that you're never going to get to own them, and that, you know, back then it would have been really, really cool. The playset here actually did get a second lease of life. I think Product Enterprise sort of got their hands on the moulds and re-released the playset in slightly darker colours, which I never bought because I had the original. It would have been nice if Product Enterprise could have carried on the line and released Cybermen heads and the TARDIS one and all that kind of thing, but sadly it wasn't to be. So thanks for watching this review, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it, hope it's been insightful, and keep your eye on the blog for more toy reviews. I've got obviously other reviews coming soon. I've got the Toys R Us Dalek Doctor 2-packs coming up. We've got the 5th Doctor and the 7th Doctor ones that I'm going to review. And we've also got Ace coming out soon. We should have Big Chief Tom Baker coming in October. And we should have a load more other little bits and pieces that I will have exclusively on the blog, such as the retrospective on the new series 5-inch figures, and looking at other toy lines as well. So thanks for watching this review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time.